Hello guys and welcome back to Premier League predictions. We are back after the international break. It feels so good to be back. I'm joined by Sophie. Set us a like target.
I'm going big. After the international break, I want 4,000 likes on this one.
Guys, we've got to do it this time. We keep getting so close and it would be amazing if for the first time ever we could hit 4,000 likes. So before we do anything, make sure you've hit the thumbs up button. On top of that, guys, please make sure you are subscribed. Help this channel push to 80,000 subscribers. We are getting there with your great support, so make sure you've subscribed. And let's talk about the Premier League predictions from last time, Sophie, where you beat me 4-3.
Oh, that's really poor from us both, actually. That's such low numbers. Might as well switch off now. We clearly don't know what we're talking about.
Honestly, we are pathetic. Let's get into the predictions, Sophie. Let's start with the big game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham versus West Ham. This will be interesting. A little bit of a fiery derby, I guess. Can you see West Ham getting something? Because I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham turned up in this game, but equally, you can't see past Spurs' last result against Brighton, where they're cruising first half, second half, threw it away. And so much so that the manager, he just looked defeated. That was such a poor result.
Yeah, now Tottenham are really, really difficult to predict.
Yeah.
They beat Man United 3-0 away, and then they go and throw the game away against Brighton. I suppose Brighton are better than Manchester United based on this season, but I don't know. Tottenham are really, really hard to predict. I think because they're the favourites, I'm going to go for them, but I really am worried for my prediction here that West Ham might get something. No. I'm going to go Tottenham. Let's go big. Tottenham 3, West Ham 1.
Okay.
But I really do think West Ham could get something at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I see why you've gone for Spurs, but to shake it up for this video, I won't go for them. I'm going to go down the middle. I'm going to say a Desmond.
Oh, 2-2.
Yeah, I think this could be an entertaining one. Purely, it depends what team turns up. Well, for both of them really, but mainly for Spurs. If it's the bottle job team that we saw before the international break, might seem harsh, but it is true, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. But on their day, Spurs are a very, very good team. It's just, is it going to be their day or not? I'm going to say no, and it's going to be a draw for me. So I'll say 2-2.
Yeah, sounds like a good game, guys. Share your thoughts on that one. We're both going for 4 goals. On to the next one, Sophie. Let's stay in the capital as Fulham take on Aston Villa. Really difficult game to predict this because although Aston Villa are flying and they're grabbing headlines in the Champions League, let's just start with Fulham because they've been really good.
Yeah.
They've picked up some good results. They gave Manchester City a real scare just before the international break, and I think they've got a decent record when they're at home to Aston Villa. I think sometimes Villa don't do great when they come to Craven Cottage, so I don't want to underestimate Fulham, but let's talk about Aston Villa, Sophie. How good are they?
They are very good.
Yeah, honestly, the standards they are setting themselves are through the roof. That when they draw at home to Manchester United 0-0, it felt a bit like a loss.
It did, yeah, watching it, I was like, how have they only drawn that game? They didn't seem like the Aston Villa we know so far this season. Maybe it was just an off game, I don't know, but we've came to expect so much from them that draw, it genuinely did feel like a loss.
It was unbelievable. It's the worst I've ever seen them in a long time. No, but in all seriousness, honestly, they are stretching themselves because they are playing Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League, and they just beat Bayern Munich as well. So full credit to them. Speaking of the Champions League, Aston Villa fans, make sure you get involved and subscribe because we are back with the Champions League predictions on Sunday night. Let's go for a prediction here, Sophie. I'm going to go Fulham 1, Aston Villa 1.
Okay, do you know what? I don't often go against Villa, and I'm going to for this one. I think, as we've mentioned, Aston Villa are a very, very good team, but sometimes they don't fully turn up. And I've been impressed with Fulham so far this season, so I'm going to give them the win. I'm going to give them the win at home. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham. I think that's a bit of a brave one because a lot of people are going to go towards Aston Villa or maybe a draw, but I think Fulham on their day are capable of getting the win.
I think you've got to make Aston Villa slight favourites.
You do.
But I really don't think you can put it past Fulham winning. So fair enough. I mean, I'm surprised we're both not going for Villa, but there you go. Share your thoughts, guys. If you're a Villa fan, do you agree? Do you disagree? Let's respectfully debate in the comments. On to the next one. We go to Portman Road. This is massive. Ipswich Town versus Everton. And we've got 2 big 6-pointers this week because we've also got Southampton taking on Leicester later as well. Wow, this feels massive, Sophie.
It is massive.
I think this is the first time where I've thought Ipswich have to win.
Yeah.
They really have to make it a win now, because I know they could draw this game and still stay up later in the season, but they've got to get a win soon, because the performances from Ipswich have been really, really encouraging, except for the West Ham one, where they did deserve to get beat. And they've got to turn one of those performances into 3 points.
Yeah,
and you don't get many opportunities to win in the Premier League. That said, this isn't necessarily easy, because Everton have picked up some decent results recently. A couple of clean sheets. Pickford saved a penalty against Newcastle.
The way he celebrated that was like he scored as well. But I guess as a keeper, it almost is like scoring.
Yeah, and against Newcastle, of course, he's from Sunderland, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm just going for it. They've got to prove me right this time. Ipswich 1-0.
Oh, see, we're split on this one, because I feel like in games where Ipswich should win, maybe the pressure gets to them a little bit. But Everton, in games like this, they turn up. They'll turn up when they need 3 points, and then against teams lower than them, they sometimes turn up. So I'm actually going the other way. I'm going to say Everton 1-0.
Oh!
Yeah, we're split down that one.
Yeah, that's tasty. Share your thoughts on that one, guys. We're going in opposite directions. I'm back in the home team. I just think Ipswich have got to get a lot of points at Portman Road.
They do.
And yeah, I can see why you're going for Everton. They have been decent recently. Next up then, Sophie, we go to Old Trafford as Manchester United take on Brentford. Now, the question is, can Manchester United stop Brentford from scoring after 1 minute?
Or even 2.
Even 2, yeah, because Brentford scored in the second minute against Wolves last time. But it's incredible. I think this is a real banana skin for Manchester United. And I don't know, I don't think Manchester United should be strong favourites for this, because
I think they are.
They've certainly got quality and they're the home team, but you really can't trust them sometimes. And Erik ten Hag does appear to have bought himself a bit more time with the draw against Villa, but it feels a bit like they're kicking the can down the road at Manchester United. And I don't know, they need a big result to really lift the confidence and lift the spirits around Old Trafford. But I think Brentford can be a handful. I think Brentford are going to score, and do you know what? I think Manchester United might just pinch it.
Oh, what, get the win?
I think they could. Let's go for it. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1.
Is it because Erik ten Hag's under pressure, and in those games, the team then get a result? And
as soon as it looks like he's about to be pushed out the door, he sort of clings on to something, like gets a result and pulls himself back to safety. Yeah,
see, purely because I don't think it's reliant on this game, whether he loses his job or not. That's why I don't see them getting the win. I'm actually going to give it to Brentford. I'm going to say Brentford 2-1. I've really liked Brentford so far this season, and I think Man United are underperforming. Great result against Villa. I didn't fancy them to get anything there, so that was really good, but it's just not convincing enough for me. So I make Brentford favourites in this one.
There you go, 2-1 Brentford. Yeah, fair enough. There you go, we're going in opposite directions. Share your thoughts on that one. Next up, Soph, this is difficult to predict. It's Newcastle versus Brighton. They are both so good. They both score lots of goals.
Concede a few as well, though.
Yeah, well, what do you have to say for this?
I think there could be goals in it.
Yeah.
Either that, or they completely cancel each other out, and you're like, how on earth is that a 0-0?
No.
It's either going to be like loads of goals or 0.
I can't see this finishing goalless.
No.
And it might not surprise you that I'm going to go for a bonus point here. I've been impressed with both of them, and I'm just going for the home team. I think the home advantage might just be what tips this. Newcastle 3, Brighton 2.
Okay, so there's not a great deal in between our predictions, because I'm going to say a Desmond in this one. I'm going to give both teams a point. I think it could be a really, really interesting and entertaining game to watch, but it's two good teams going at it. as we said, they're very good going forward. Look a little bit leaky at the back sometimes, mainly more Brighton, but I think this could be a really good game. Yeah, 2-2.
2-2. Yeah, honestly, both teams have the potential to, I don't know, could one of them be in the top 4 this season, maybe?
Possibly.
Yeah. I think they're both going to be around the top 6 for sure, though.
Yeah.
Share your thoughts on that one, guys. Next up, Sophie, this is a massive, massive game as we go to St Mary's. Southampton take on Leicester City. Two teams that came up, and you struggle to see both of them staying up.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is like both at the same time. I think Leicester could stay up on their own. If Southampton win this game, they might be able to stay up on their own potentially. But it's difficult to see all three newly promoted teams staying up this season. And to be honest, the team I've been impressed with probably the most is Leicester. Ipswich have been good, but Leicester have the most points. And I'll tell you what I think it is. I think with Steve Cooper, if their fans are patient, he might get them over the line.
It won't be pretty, but it will do the job.
I've said this a few times. This season for Leicester is all about staying up.
Yeah.
And with Steve Cooper, you've got a chance. I think defensively, you've got the ability to keep clean sheets like you did against Bournemouth. The football might not be the prettiest, but he's got the experience of keeping Forest in the Premier League. And I think that's where this game could be won or lost, in the dugouts. I think Russell Martin might not last the season if he keeps going the way he is. And it's sad to say because
it's such a hard job.
Yeah.
Staying up in the Premier League now is almost an impossible task.
Southampton have moments where I think they look really good, but they can't sustain it for a full 90.
Yeah.
Southampton 1, Leicester 2.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say 2-0 Leicester. I think they might get a clean sheet. Sounds a little bit harsh, but I backed Leicester before the international break and they came good for me. I've liked what I've seen more so from them. There's been times in games, as you say, not really the full 90, but where Southampton look good and they play some nice football, possession-based football, which you expect from Russell Martin. But yeah, they're not clicking enough for me. They're not scoring enough goals, and I don't know. I know it's early on in the season, but it's not looking good for them so far. And yeah, if they lose this one, that's a bit of a statement as well. So yeah, for me, I'm backing the Foxes 2-0.
2-0 to the Foxes. Yeah, share your thoughts, guys. I know at this early stage you can't say anyone's mathematically relegated yet, but if Southampton lose this, it's a long way back. It's a long way back. On to the next one, Sophie. Let's stay on the south coast as Bournemouth host Arsenal. Arsenal, look, if they're going to compete for the title, they have to win these games. No disrespect to Bournemouth, because Bournemouth are good, but if you're in the title race in today's footballing world, you need, I don't know, 90 plus points. You have to sweep these games to the side and pick up 3 points and 3 points and just keep moving like a tank. Look, Bournemouth are good. Bit disappointing before the international break that they lost away at Leicester. Do you know what? I think Arsenal might get a clean sheet. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2.
Yeah, I'm going for the same here. I do like Bournemouth and I think they will hit better form, but this is a very, very difficult game. As I said, I did actually back Leicester to beat them before the international break, but I think it was more desperation for points from Leicester. Arsenal do look very good, and I think a clean sheet would be great for them as well. So, yeah, as you say, if they want to be in that title race, they need to be winning games like this. And I think they will. So 2-0.
2-0, yeah, we're going the same again. Right, on to the next team involved in the title race, Sophie. It's Manchester City, and they go away to bottom of the table, Wolves. Wolves need results. They need them soon. Gary O'Neill is under pressure, but their next two games are Man City and then Brighton away. It looks very difficult for Wolves. They've certainly got goals in them.
They do. That's the weird thing. They're scoring in most games.
But they concede so many. So many. They conceded 5 at Brentford.
I know they have got a few injuries at the back, but
blimey. I mean,
it's just too easy.
It's way too easy. If you're going to stay up, you can't concede 5 in a game.
No.
I don't know. I could go for a bonus point here and go really heavy on Man City, but I'll try and keep it respectful. Wolves 1, Man City 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a bonus point. I'm going to say 4-1 Man City. Just because Wolves, they just love conceding at the moment. It's really strange. Like I do think they will get a goal against Man City, but I don't see them getting anything else from the game other than that. It's really worrying for them and their fans at the moment, where you think, oh, when's this going to end? I don't know how far off some of their key players are from injury, because it is a case where it's like, oh god, that back line, bloody hell. But yeah, again, Man City are a very, very good team, very strong team, even when they rotate. So yeah, I think they'll be firing against Wolves.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even without Rodri, I think this could still be quite straightforward for Man City. Right, next up, Soph, this is really interesting. Another team in the title race, Liverpool, but they take on Chelsea. This will be difficult for Liverpool.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool have been great. They deserve to be top. I've been really impressed with Arne Slot, but I just think Chelsea look a lot better this season as well. And let's give them credit. I didn't think Maresca would be as good as he has been.
No.
But with Madueke, Jackson and Palmer, they've got so many goals in them. And they're quite exciting to watch now.
They are, yeah.
So, do you know what? I think Chelsea will score. But if Liverpool are serious about challenging for the title, they've got to win. So I think they could just win. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, what I think is going to be really interesting in this game is what we've seen so far from Arne Slot's team is that they are very solid defensively and they don't concede many goals. So to come up against Chelsea, who are very, very good attacking, you just think something's got to give here, surely. And to be fair, Kelleher is a great backup, but could Alisson being out, could that affect this game? Possibly. I do think that Chelsea will score, but I'm going to give it to Liverpool. I'm going to back them. I hesitated then because I thought, oh, could it be a draw? Which ultimately wouldn't be a terrible result, especially for Chelsea. But yeah, I'm just going to edge Liverpool to get it over the line. I'm going to say 2-1, but this could be a very, very interesting game.
Yeah, going for the same as me.
Yep.
Share your thoughts on that one, guys. Liverpool have been really impressive.
Yep.
Chelsea have been as well, but I just think the home advantage and the fact that Liverpool have maybe got that bit more structure over a few years built up, that they should edge this game. On to the final game then, Sophie, on the Monday night. Let's go to the City Ground where Nottingham Forest take on Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest have been great. What a good draw that was at Chelsea just before the international break with 10 men as well. And do you know what it was? They defended really well. The keeper made some really good saves, but they were still carrying a threat. They nearly won that game. They forced some really good saves from Sanchez, and that's what I'm really enjoying about Nottingham Forest this season.
Just sitting back and defending, hoping for the best. They're actually attacking games.
I think that's what it was. I mean, you can't blame Steve Cooper in that first season for just defending for their lives.
Yeah.
But they're still quite defensive with Nuno, but they carry a threat and they're really exciting. And I really like the signings they've added to this team over the couple of years they've been in the Premier League. Hudson-Odoi, I suppose Elanga as well. They won't have Ward-Prowse for this game because he got sent off. But Chris Wood is a goal machine. You've got to fancy them, Sophie, against Palace, who are in the bottom three.
They're not in good form, are they, Palace? They've got some really good players, but again, it's another team where it's not clicking and massively underperforming for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, they lost Elise, but they've still got Eze, Mateta and Gueye.
Yeah.
So they should be
just
better.
One player.
Maybe they will get a result out of nowhere and start improving. But if you're going to go with logic, you've got to go with Forest here. I'm going to go Forest 1-0.
I'm throwing in another goal. I'm going Forest 2-0. I think they've got to be the favourites in this one, being the home side, but also comparing form. And I feel like Forest are just going to be up for it. They're going to look at this game and think, sure, this is a winnable game. It is. And I think if they attack it like they did at times against Chelsea, I think this could be a fairly easy win for them. Pretty routine, so 2-0.
2-0. There you go. We are both backing Nottingham Forest. The Forest fans are going to love you this week.
They might. It depends what happens.
Guys, share your thoughts down in the comments because that wraps up our predictions. So get your predictions down there. Please make sure to support this video by hitting the like button. It literally takes 2 seconds. And if we can get every single person that views this video to take 2 seconds to do that, then that would be amazing. Make sure, of course, to subscribe if you haven't already. It really really helps this channel grow, and your support is much appreciated. Make sure to look out for lots of content over the next week as well. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace out.